Hello and welcome to this video. This is Kidrill, it's the opponent, and I'm trying out a Dutch defense. Let's see, we get this kind of setup. It looks a lot like a Nimzo. Yeah, it's a hybrid between the Dutch and Nimzo. F5 kind of fits into this position, so he takes voluntarily. It's a bit surprising. I would have actually thought about provoking that with h6, but it wasn't necessary. Okay, now he's setting himself up for the fork. Okay, so he had to save it. Had to save the bishop. Yeah, a couple of ways to play this position. Probably put the knight here. I wonder if it is actually a good idea to play this typical Nimzo way with b6 and bishop a6 here, or if this is not the best. I think I'd like to get out of potential checks first and then consider my options. I can also just bring this knight over to the other side of the board. Okay, I need this probably anyway to move my bishop. Yeah, and now, if I go knight a5, he might take and play queen to d5. Well, and it's not a big problem, but I'm not sure that I want those trades. So I'm going back to e7, keeping d5 covered. Maybe I'll just play bishop b7 and claim that this is a good diagonal, which is probably a justified claim. And I wouldn't be unhappy at all if he would push d5. Okay, this is now entirely irrelevant after he went c5. It looks like an interesting move, by the way. Okay, so let's develop this. Still have the slightly more comfortable pawn structure. Here there is the c pawn that I can potentially attack. Okay, a couple of options. Even this is a way to play, threatening e4 and f3 for a direct attack. It's playable, at least. That also opens up f5 for the knight. I mean, as I mentioned, there is the half-open c file, and I can play against the pawn, but I can also just go for an attack. And given the choice between some strategic play and attacking the king, you should almost always choose the king. It's just more dangerous. Like, it's nice to win a pawn somewhere and so on, but if you can checkmate the guy, it's just better. Yeah, here I think this looks nice. Yeah, how does he play here? It's not easy. Knight d2, rook d8 looks awful. And do you want to have your pawn structure completely destroyed on f3? Probably not. Also, I've got rook f6, g6, these ideas. He takes a while. It's not easy to even make a move. That doesn't even make it worse, I mean. I might as well just take twice on f3 and win a pawn. That's also an issue. And it's almost not avoidable. Almost unavoidable by now. Yeah, so what to do now? Rook d8 is probably a good move. Getting an additional piece into the play. And where's the queen going? Yeah, but rook d2, yeah? Yeah, rook d2. And now, is there anything better than taking? Probably not. Yeah? And it is pretty strong. I'm threatening like everything. Mate, the rook is hanging. Okay, so here probably rook g2 is killing. Yeah. Okay, rook f3 is devastating. Threatening everything. Rook f1, double checkmate, and so on. There's just no move. Yeah, couldn't do anything against it. That was a pretty yeah, White's position out of the opening was really not so attractive. I decided to take on c3 while it was still giving the double pawn. If I play, I mean, I can play castles or something, but he at least then has this move to cover c3. I was very surprised that he took on f6, because that is absolutely not necessary at this particular moment. You can play e3 or something normal, let's say. And yeah, giving me the, or let's say, voluntarily giving up the bishop pair doesn't help. Okay, bishop d3, e5, bishop c2. And now, not quite sure, but knight c6 looks fine. I'm covering e5. There was the idea to capture and play queen d5 check and winning the e-pawn, so I had to cover it, I guess. Castles, and now I was a little bit, yeah, it's a bit of a lazy move, king h8, but it's, I think, quite reasonable. So no checks anywhere on d5 or b3. Rook b1, yeah, b6 I kind of have to play. Bishop a4, yeah, knight e7 I think is sensible. This looks a little bit like, after this, it looks a little bit, yeah, it doesn't look optimal, let's say. I don't want to give up e5 for c4, and I did not consider e4 here as the engine does. This is interesting. And probably indeed good for black, but yeah, like knight e7 is, keep it simple. Yeah, the knight is heading towards the king side. He tried c5, and the engine suggests to simply take the pawn. Yeah, but bishop b7 is a good move. So I took it. Rook c1, and now, yeah, f4 is maybe not the best. Rook c8 is the normal move, but f4, it's just trying to play in a powerful way, threatening e4, f3, going for the attack. And the engine's suggestion of e4 shows that f4 is, at least from a practical point of view, a strong decision, because e4 is not a very human move to make. And in fact, I don't quite understand why this is anything. Yeah. Maybe from practical terms. I mean, if you look at it, this is basically a pawn, yeah, just for not much. But okay, you trade a bit, maybe you don't get checkmated immediately. Yeah, d takes e5 gives me the d file, and e takes f is probably losing. Okay. White should go e4. The same idea as before. And now queen takes wasn't even best. Okay. Rook d8. Yeah. Okay, that is a decent move to flick in. And now rook d8. It's just winning the house. Yeah, that's an easy win at the end. Yeah, okay guys, thanks for watching.